Oh, there you are, YouTube. Do. Subscribe if you're interested, but also no pressure. Hey, I think we're gonna do my very last handlebar mustache. We're gonna wax this thing up for the last time before I cut it. I think I'm gonna cut it anyway. This could talk me back into it, but I'm thinking of like starting it over. Not fully over, not gonna go skin here, but I'm thinking of just going more Tom Selleck mustache style. Let me show you some of the tools that I got. First, we got the wax, and I'll show you what I typically use. It is Savvy Jack. They're based in Florida and veteran made in the USA. Let's see. And this here that I have is the black wax. That's not what I started out with them. I actually started with their regular wax. They also sell it as bullet lube. But right here, you can see the regular color here. Has a little bit of black on there as well. And I'll get to why that is in a moment. And then here they also sell the black wax like this, in this sort of chapstick tube, just like the other one. And that's, as you can tell from the way this looked, that I normally use this, the chapstick, but I have this on hand as well. But I haven't been styling my mustache in a while, and I'm thinking, you know, before I cut it, I better style it again. So that's the wax I'm gonna be using. I really like it because it holds very strong no matter how hot it is, because your face gives off a little bit of warmth, and it's summertime now, so it's just gonna be warmer outside, and a lot of waxes will start to droop. This stuff does not, especially their original, their regular. Like, this stuff is amazing. As is this. This is good. Has a slightly different texture to it. It feels a little bit more silky to me than the original. So those are the waxes. And then, of course, I have some combs. They're a little dirty here, but this is a mustache comb here with a lot of wax in it. And then this also came from Savvy Jack. I can't remember what they call this. Was this like the Tomahawk, maybe? Savvy Jack Tomahawk. Has hog bristles here, more like as a brush. I actually use this more to like clean things, like clean between bristles on combs. And then here, you can use that as a mustache comb right there, which is nice. And then here, at the end, you use this to help you get some of those curls started. Definitely don't have to use that, but if you like nice tight curls, this is a good way to get those curls started, and then you work the rest of the way with your hands. I also just keep a regular comb. I actually had one that was half this size, but I only have my large right now. I don't know where the smaller one went, but I'll also be using this as well. And then I have the blow dryer, have this as well, for two reasons. First, you start with the hot right there. I always work with it on low also. So I have off, low, and high. That's what you're seeing there. I keep it on low, so it's not, you know, blasting. And then, yeah, we have hot, warm, and cool. I typically do hot to soften the wax. I use a lot of wax. I think a lot of people don't do their handlebars the way I do, because I put in a lot of wax. And then once I have all the wax in, then I'll go in with the cool to sort of solidify it so that everything stays in place. Okay, sorry, we're already at like 4 minutes now. Okay, so the reason I have both of these, the original and the black, is because I'm starting to salt and pepper a little bit. And my hair isn't fully black. I got brown hair there. So this sort of softens that black that we have in the wax, which is made out of charcoal, if I remember correctly. It sort of softens that a little bit, because otherwise it looks like it's jet black against, you know, everything that I have here. And I get more salt every day. So what I do is just sort of, and I use a lot more wax than most people. Like it says to just use like the size of a pea. I use about 4 to 5. So we're gonna have this right here. This is the original. And then I'm gonna go in with some of the black right here. See, just like chapstick. And gonna scrape that off as well with that same finger. And then I'm gonna work these together just so, for me, it's not, it turns it almost into a gray in a way, which is good for me because I got a lot of gray popping up in this beard. So I start mixing those together. See that? Mixing. I'm no expert on this. I mean, I guess I've had this, how long have I had this handlebar? I mean, now it's droopy. I've been wearing it this way for a long time, but started growing this handlebar, I think in 2018. And then I've had maybe 3 before it. First one I ever had was in maybe 2004 when I was that right? 2003, 2000, what was it? 2003, 2004, somewhere around there. Okay, so because it's a warm day, I'm upstairs, the heat has, it's rising. This is very soft, but let's say it wasn't this soft, it's not this pliable. What I would need to do is really warm it up in order to get a lot of this mixing and pliability and softness. I mean, your hand does warm it up quite a bit, but I like to use the blow dryer as well. But here, I'm going to see how the front of my mustache hangs down in front. My old mustaches, I used to trim this section. I don't anymore, so I have to get a lot of wax in here to group with everything on the side here. So this might be, and I try to get it underneath also. See, not just on top, but underneath, because these little hairs, those pesky hairs, become very annoying and will kind of fall into your mouth and stuff. So I try to put a lot of it underneath. So here I am applying that, and I'm putting it here, and then we're gonna work it down into where the curl will be, the ends of the mustache. Okay. And a lot of this is gonna get combed out, but then I just use it for this side. Or use it for up there, okay. So again, most people don't use this much. I do. I like extremely firm hold on my mustache, because I like to set it and then not have to worry about it again. I don't want to have to keep, finding a mirror. What do I do? So there we go. See that? See that distance there? I didn't measure this. I'm not going to cut it today. We're not going to watch me cut it. I'm going to cut it on a different day. But if I remember, once I make that video, I will put it in the description of this one so you can find it quickly. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna put some of this extra stuff here. So see how it's all over my hands? Here's kind of a fun thing. The easiest way to get it off of your hands, or this thing's gonna be covered in it as well, is toilet paper. Like the texture of the toilet paper just really does pull the wax off of your hands. All right, so now we got it right here on hot, and then I'm gonna move it to low, and then I'm gonna work all that wax in. Okay, so it's much softer now. And I ran a comb through it. See, I'm losing hairs also. That's gonna happen. So don't worry about that if you're following along with your own mustache. That is going to happen. Okay. I'm probably gonna wanna trim it too. I should have brought some scissors because these are not gonna be even. It's been a long time since I've trimmed them. So I'm just gonna kind of let this one hang out to the side right there. Look, and if I kept it like this, this would be called an English mustache. curling. That's the handlebar, but straight out like that. That's English. I like the English, actually. That's one of my favorites. So let's do this side next. See that I got kind of a little gap there. That'll be hidden once I get everything kind of worked in a little bit more and the curl going. So here, again, remember how I put all of this up there? That's to sort of create the same uniform texture all throughout. You're not twisting your mustache at all. That's something I learned the hard way. You're just straight, and then you will curve the hair. You're not doing any twisting. Those whiskers are meant to be curved, not twisted. So again, a bunch of that. And then, ooh, I'm low on the black. Shoot. Okay, I'm gonna dig some of that out with this, if I can. Don't want to waste it. There we go. Getting some of that out. But I think I'm going to have to resort to yeah, I'm going to have to get into my tin stash here. Look at that. Clean, pristine. Oh, this is much thicker. The other stuff was a little softer. I shouldn't say the product is. I'm sure it's the same, but I think because it was in the tin versus the plastic, that created maybe a temperature shift or something. All right, so we're mixing these together just like we did on this side. Generally the same ratio. And then, again, I'm gonna kind of start a little bit underneath. So I flip the mustache up a little bit. I put some there, and then work it down. To these areas. So the main reason I'm kind of wanting to ditch the stash is because if I styled it every day, if I had that sort of time, it's harder for me to do now that I have kids to style it every day. And I want to eat like a lot of barbecue and, I don't know, banana pudding desserts and things like that. And it's just hard to do when you got your mustache hanging in front of your mouth. Okay, so again, with the blow dryer, I'm gonna loosen that up even more and then work it through, comb it through, do all that like I did before. Okay. Working that through. So a lot of that gunk that was up there, that wax, we've moved it down. We've combed it through. Let's check out the difference here. It's actually not so bad. Actually, what I do is I kind of like close my eyes and then go like this. That's pretty even. We're still gonna trim it though. We're gonna trim it because right now, you know, I got that stray hair here that's longer than everything else. The side here kind of has the same thing. So I'm gonna and get some scissors. In order to make that happen. All right, gonna go get those scissors real quick. All right, here I got the scissors. They're gonna be covered in the wax also. So right here, just gonna maybe right there, cut off about that much. See that? Square off that end. And then, so I'm just gonna eyeball this. Sometimes I get a ruler out or make it way more precise. So let me do that again. I'm just dragging both fingers across. Then what kind of feels the same, I don't know, maybe I will measure that. Middle of the lip. To there. Middle of the lip. To there. So yeah, I'm gonna actually cut off quite a bit here. Wow, that's a big difference. I guess I didn't realize that. Right there. So that was actually quite a bit compared to the other one. All right, let's check our measurements. Right there. What? What did I do wrong there? Okay, middle to there. Middle. Do I really have to cut that much more off of that side? Yeah, I do. Wow. When I was eyeballing that, it didn't seem that way. Yeah, that feels equal to me. Maybe that side's a little shorter. So that's right there, 2 bristles. Yeah, 2 thin bristles, we got it. Okay, that's equal. All right. So what I like to do, see, I have some part of like, I don't think it's technically beard, but it's like the connector between the mustache and the beard. Inside the mustache, see the gap here? And there, that shows the separation, right? Like that part should be in my beard, but I'm gonna keep it in there just for the sake of keeping the mustache nice and hearty. All right, so then we get into the curling. So I've gotten good enough at this to where I can just do it. But if you did want to use this, what you could do, let's say you're going for a tight curl. I use it more as like a starter because it can get nice tight curls. See, that's thinner than what my finger can do, what I can loop around my finger. See, and now I have some curve here. Not saying it's done, but I've worked in some knowledge to that portion of the handlebar so it knows to curl there. So you're more bending it. Again, there's no twisting here. I think we have this, beginners, me included. I mean, I'm still a beginner, even though I've been doing this for years. I just, don't put a lot of time into it. Feel like you got to twist it, but you don't. And I like to wear mine high. Also, I should say that. Some people will loop it down here. I like mine high. So see, there's one there. I like to open my mouth because I'm going to be eating. That will help set it. Because what I used to use was Elmer's glue. I used to use Elmer's glue. And when you made your curls with that, like there was no flexibility. Like there's still flexibility here, even though this wax is extremely sturdy. There's still flexibility, which is great. With the glue, there was none. So here I can open my mouth and it, you know, it's not gonna tug and hurt my skin or the follicle. But when I used to use glue, it did. Like I would open my mouth and it would like pull and we're like, ah. I lost a lot of hairs that way just from opening my mouth. Okay, I'm not gonna connect it because you can, you know, get this loop to touch that, but I'm not gonna do that. I've had longer handlebars than this. I have not trimmed this at all in probably over a year, but I'm not taking care of it. I haven't been oiling it, I haven't been doing a good job. And that's another reason why I kind of want a fresh start at a new handlebar, treat it right. And I don't know when I'm gonna start it because I think I'll go just Tom Selleck for a bit, but I will bring the handlebar back. I don't think it'll be the last one. It is a hassle though. You can tell it's warm, I'm sweating. Okay, and then when you check your work, remember doing that in like math classes and stuff? So when you check your work, what I like to do is look up. And then make sure, because sometimes you can have a great curl, but it's like tilted forward and you don't realize straight on. So you kind of have to make sure you have them equal by tilting up to see how close it is to the cheek. And I think it's pretty equal. Actually, no, because you're also looking this way. You can see this one's more forward, this one's more back. So that's why you gotta check your work. Okay, so that's a little more equal. And these little hairs right here, just kind of put pressure on them into the heart of all that wax up there. Again, that's why I shove so much wax in this area, so that those tiny little hairs that are always breaking off and regrowing, and you know, I'm chewing on them when I'm eating burgers and stuff like that. We're gonna just push those in. Actually, what I do is I get little clothespins, those little clips, and then tack them up. And then that's how I eat. When I'm eating any food in the car and I don't have my mustache done, we gotta get these little clips out right here so that we can have a safe and clean eating experience. All right, there's one. Because if I don't do this, I'm just eating mustache. If I'm not doing this, I'm just eating mustache. But let's go, let's check this out. Look at all that good, crispy. Oh, dang. This is good. Full bite with everything right here. Oh man. Oh shoot. The geese are here. Oh shoot. The geese are here. All right, so I think we've done it here. Is this my last handlebar mustache? I mean, my logo, my channel logo, which I don't think I have here on YouTube, which is funny, But like on Instagram, my channel logo is a handlebar mustache, so I'm gonna have to change that to a Tom Selleck mustache. But I'm sure this will come back. I'm just starting off fresh, taking a little summer break from the mustache, but it'll come back. Okay, so we again had 2 types of wax that we were using, and I finished this one, so I can toss this. This is the black in the tube. But I still have the black in the tin. Again, we use the original as well, Savvy Jack. I can't sing their praises enough. They are my favorite wax by far because of their sturdiness. Other waxes that I've used, especially in heat, will slowly bend out. I've been to Florida in the heat, like 90-degree temperatures, riding rides, wrangling my children, and they never dripped at all. But other waxes, I'm live in the Midwest, and just on a warm day, my own skin can cause the curls to sort of open up. These don't open up unless, you snag it on something and keep going, then it'll straighten out. But yeah, I think this is pretty good here. Of course, there's a huge stark contrast between this color and this color, but I kind of like that because it, I don't know, makes it stand out a little bit more. You have a handlebar because you want people to notice it, and then when you amplify it like this, they notice it even more. Maybe it looks weird, but I like that. Because actually I will say that with the regular wax here, over time, it will, in this area, sort of like regroup or something like that into like little clear clusters like that. You'll see little clear clusters like that sort of in this area, like by the end of the day. You can always rework them in, but that does happen. And when I use the black wax, that never happens, ever. Or if it does, it's invisible and I can't tell. So there we go. Pure Hangouts, last handlebar mustache. Probably not for all time, but this one here, which I've been rocking on my face since I believe 2017, 2018, somewhere around there. I'm finally gonna cut it. Not in this video, maybe tomorrow's video will cut that. I'm changing my whole look. I think I'm gonna buzz my head, trim the beard, Tom Selleck the mustache. I'm gonna look like a brand new man. Gonna get some glasses eventually because this eye can barely see anything out of it, and I'm gonna be somebody with glasses, shaved head. Why? Because look how thin this is. Look at that. I was balding this whole time and I didn't even know it. Look at that. I had a comb over all this time and I didn't even know it because it was combed over. I thought I had a full head of hair until I looked at it. All this back here, balding, had no idea. I kept asking for, I want a part over here, so I kept parting my hair. Little did I know, under that part was a balding man. Although, what am I, 41? My dad, he was fully bald with the horseshoe in his 20s. So I had a good run. But we're gonna buzz it, maybe bick it, which is like when you take the razor to it, the Bic razor. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know, but I'm changing it all. Beard, shorter, probably about like that. Ooh, dang. I kind of like that. Ooh, should I do that right now? No, we'll hold off. Ooh, dang. Doing this, seeing that made me want to keep this. I don't know. I think I'm gonna snip it, and I'll make a video of that. But anyway, I'm holding you up. Thank you so much for watching. And if you watched any of my old handlebar mustache videos, thank you for watching those as well. I've done a couple reviews on products and, talked about ways to do your mustache or not do your mustache. Maybe I'll put those in the description if you want to watch those. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Really means a lot. And perhaps we'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout. Actually, I want to show you really quick. So remember what I talked about. This is going to be covered in wax. Toilet paper right here, takes it right off very easily. Look at that, perfect, very easy. Same thing with your brushes. It doesn't do much for the bristles, but right here, this is kind of caked in wax, would also take it off of that. You know, see how dirty this is right there? Watch this, toilet paper, just a little bit of pressure, good as new. See the difference there? Check it out. Also, takes it off your hands really easily. Works wonders.